My beloved soul, listen carefully. This is not a coincidence, not a random moment, not something you simply clicked without reason, because right now, at this very second, there is someone tied to your spirit who is breaking without you, and God wants you to know that what you have been feeling in your heart, that heaviness, that sudden wave of emotion, that quiet ache you cannot explain, it is not just yours, it is shared, it is mirrored. It is coming from the one your soul recognizes even in silence, and they are struggling more than you can see, more than they can admit, more than they ever showed you before, because what they lost in your absence is something they never truly understood while you were there, and now it is hitting them all at once, deep, overwhelming, undeniable, and God is revealing this to you, because something is shifting in your connection. Something real, something powerful, something that is about to move. So stay with me, do not look away, because what you are about to understand will change how you see this love forever. Do not scroll, this message carries your answer. If this message speaks to your heart, comment, "I receive this love," like this video, and subscribe for more. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange pull that comes out of nowhere. That moment when your chest tightens, and your thoughts go straight to them without warning. And you try to distract yourself, you try to move forward, you try to convince your mind that it is over, or that it does not matter anymore. But your soul refuses to let go, and that is because this connection was never meant to be broken, only transformed, only tested, only deepened through distance. And right now, while you are learning to stand strong, your soulmate is learning what it truly means to lose you, because your absence is not silent in their world. It is loud, it echoes, it disrupts their peace, it forces them to face emotions they kept running from, and they are breaking in ways they do not understand, because they never prepared for a life without your energy, without your presence, without your love surrounding them in ways they took for granted. Stay with me. Something deeper is unfolding in your love story. There are moments when they sit alone, and everything reminds them of you. The way you spoke, the way you cared, the way you understood them without explanation. And it confuses them, because they tried to ignore these feelings before. They tried to suppress them. They tried to act like it was not that serious, but now they cannot escape it. Now it is everywhere, in their thoughts, in their dreams, in their quietest hours. And they are realizing that what they lost was not ordinary. It was not replaceable. It was not something they could easily move on from. And that realization is breaking them slowly, piece by piece, because they are finally seeing your value through your absence. And yes, I know you have questioned this. I know you have wondered if they even care, if they even think about you, if you were ever truly important to them. But God is saying to you right now, they feel you more than ever. They think of you more than they admit. And they are fighting emotions that are becoming too strong to ignore, because this connection was written beyond logic, beyond timing, beyond human understanding. It was written in a place where souls recognize truth, even when the mind resists it. Do not leave yet. Your soulmate's truth is being revealed. There is something you must understand. This separation was not meant to destroy your connection. It was meant to awaken it. Because there were things they needed to face within themselves, patterns they needed to break, fears they needed to confront, and without distance. They would have never seen it clearly. They would have continued in the same cycle, never fully realizing what you meant to them. But now, without you there, they are forced to sit with their own thoughts, their own mistakes, their own silence. And it is in that silence that your presence becomes louder than ever. Because true connection does not disappear with distance. It intensifies, it reveals itself, it demands to be acknowledged. You may not see it. You may not hear from them yet. But something is shifting inside them, something that is preparing them, something that is softening them, something that is breaking their ego and opening their heart, because they can no longer pretend that you did not matter. They can no longer run from what they feel, and God is guiding them through this process, even when they do not fully understand it. Stay with me, because everything about this connection will soon make sense. There are nights when they cannot sleep, when their mind replays memories of you, conversations, moments, feelings they once ignored. And now those same moments feel heavy with meaning, because they see what they could not see before. They feel what they refused to feel before. And it is overwhelming them, because regret is beginning to form, not just small regret, but deep, emotional realization that they let something rare slip away. And that realization is breaking them in ways they cannot express to anyone else, because they do not even know how to put it into words. And God wants you to know this is not punishment, this is transformation. Because sometimes people must feel the absence of what they took lightly in order to understand its true value. And your soulmate is going through that exact awakening right now. You were never just another person in their life. You were a mirror, a lesson, a blessing, a divine connection sent to awaken something inside them. And now that you are not there in the same way, that awakening is happening whether they are ready or not. Do not scroll, there is something you need to hear right now. God is saying they are being pulled back toward you, even if they resist it, even if they try to distract themselves, even if they tell themselves it is over, because the bond you share is not something that can simply be cut off. It is spiritual, it is emotional, it is deeply rooted in purpose, and purpose always finds its way back, no matter how far it drifts. You might feel tired. You might feel like giving up. You might feel like you have waited long enough. But there is movement happening behind the scenes that you cannot yet see. There are realizations forming, there are emotions building, there are truths being accepted, and all of it is leading somewhere. All of it is preparing something that is not yet fully revealed. Stay with me, your love story is not finished yet. There is a verse that speaks to this moment. What God has joined together, let no one separate. So Mark 10:9. And this is not about forcing something that is not meant to be. This is about recognizing that what is truly aligned by God cannot be destroyed by confusion, distance, or temporary choices. It may bend, it may pause, it may go through seasons of silence, but it does not disappear, because its foundation is not human, it is divine. And right now, your soulmate is feeling that truth in the most intense way, because your absence has become their lesson. Your silence has become their mirror. Your distance has become the space where they finally see what they refused to see before. Do not leave yet. Something powerful is about to unfold. There are moments now when they stop everything they are doing, and without warning your name rises in their mind. Your energy surrounds them, and they cannot explain why their heart feels heavy all of a sudden, why their chest tightens, why their thoughts refuse to move away from you, and they try to ignore it at first. They try to shake it off, but it keeps returning stronger each time, because this is not just memory, this is connection. This is the bond that still exists between you, alive, active, undeniable. And it is pulling on them in ways they are no longer able to control. Because the more they try to move on, the more they feel you, the more they remember you, the more they realize that something inside them never truly let you go. Stay with me. Something deeper is unfolding in your love story. They are starting to question everything now, the choices they made, the distance they created, the silence they allowed to grow between you, and what once felt justified in their mind now feels heavy on their heart, because clarity is replacing confusion, and truth is replacing denial. And they are beginning to see that what they walked away from was not just a person. It was a connection that held depth, understanding, and something rare that they have not been able to find anywhere else since you have been gone. And that realization is not peaceful, it is overwhelming. It is emotional, it is breaking the walls they once built so confidently around their feelings. Do not leave yet, your soulmate's truth is being revealed. They miss the way you understood them without needing explanations, the way you saw through their silence, the way your presence made things feel lighter even when life was heavy. And now, in your absence, they are facing everything alone, without that comfort, without that support, without that energy that once surrounded them so naturally. And it is in this loneliness that they are finally realizing what you meant to them, because your absence is teaching them what your presence truly was, and they are beginning to understand that losing you was not something small. It was something that changed them deeply. There are times when they pick up their phone, thinking about reaching out, thinking about breaking the silence, thinking about saying something, anything, just to feel your presence again, but fear holds them back, fear of rejection, fear of not knowing how you feel anymore, fear of facing the truth of what they have done. And so they hesitate, they pause, they put the phone down, but the thought never leaves, the desire never fades, because the connection is still there, pulling them, guiding them, reminding them that you are not just someone from their past, you are someone their soul still recognizes as home. Stay with me, because everything about this connection will soon make sense. God is working on their heart in ways you cannot see, softening the parts that were once closed, breaking down the pride that once kept them distant, and replacing it with understanding, with awareness, with emotional truth that they can no longer ignore. And even though it may feel like nothing is happening on the surface, everything is shifting beneath it. Everything is aligning in ways that are preparing them to face you, to speak to you, to finally acknowledge what they have been running from. You may have asked yourself why this had to happen, why the distance, why the silence, why the confusion, and the answer is not simple. Because this connection was never meant to be ordinary. It was meant to transform both of you, to push both of you into growth, into healing, into deeper understanding of love, and sometimes that requires separation, sometimes that requires space, sometimes that requires moments where everything feels uncertain, so that what is real can rise to the surface without distraction. Do not scroll. There is something important you need to hear right now. They are beginning to feel regret, not just in passing thoughts, but in deep emotional waves that come unexpectedly, moments when they wish they had done things differently, spoken differently, chosen differently, moments when they realize that they had something genuine in their life and did not fully appreciate it while it was there, and that realization is not easy for them. It is heavy, it is humbling, it is forcing them to confront parts of themselves they once avoided. And this is where the breaking is happening, not just in missing you, but in understanding the role they played in losing you. Stay with me. Your love story is not finished yet. There are signs around them now, reminders, synchronicities, small things that keep bringing you back into their awareness. Songs that remind them of you, places that feel empty without you, conversations that trigger memories they cannot escape. And even when they try to distract themselves, something always pulls them back to you, because this connection is not fading, it is strengthening in absence, it is becoming clearer through distance, it is demanding to be acknowledged in ways they can no longer ignore. And you, on your side, have felt this too, those sudden emotional shifts, those moments when you feel connected to them without any physical contact, those dreams, those thoughts that come out of nowhere, and you wonder why, you wonder if it means something, and God is saying to you, it does, because your souls are still communicating, your energies are still connected, and what you are feeling is not one-sided, it is shared, it is mutual, it is part of the process that is bringing both of you back into alignment. Do not leave yet, something powerful is about to unfold. There is movement happening within them, a quiet but powerful shift that is preparing them to take action, to move beyond fear, to step out of silence, and to finally face what they feel, because they can no longer carry this weight alone. They can no longer pretend that you do not matter. They can no longer live in a reality where they ignore the truth of this connection, and that pressure is building, that realization is growing, that moment of action is getting closer with each passing day. God is guiding this process with precision, with timing that may not make sense to you right now, but will become clear when everything unfolds, because divine timing is not about delay, it is about preparation. It is about ensuring that when things come together, They come together in a way that is real, that is stable, that is aligned with growth and understanding, not just emotion alone. Stay with me, because your soulmate is closer to breaking their silence than you think. They are beginning to see you not just as someone they knew, but as someone who changed them, someone who left an impact that cannot be erased, someone who awakened something inside them that no one else has been able to reach. And that awareness is powerful, because once someone realizes the depth of what they feel, it becomes impossible to ignore it, impossible to suppress it, impossible to walk away from it without feeling the weight of that decision every single day. And this is where they are now, standing between fear and truth, between silence and expression, between holding back and reaching out. And the breaking you are being told about is not destruction. It is transformation. It is the moment where everything they have been holding inside begins to surface, begins to demand release, begins to push them toward the very thing they have been avoiding, which is you. Stay with me, because the truth of your connection is still unfolding. And now, something even deeper is happening inside them, something they cannot escape anymore, because the more they try to move forward without you, the more everything feels incomplete, like something essential is missing from their life. And they are starting to realize that it is not just loneliness, it is not just habit, it is you, your energy, your presence, your love, the way you understood them in ways no one else ever did. And that realization is hitting them at times they least expect it, in quiet moments, in busy moments, even when they are surrounded by people. Because no distraction is strong enough to silence what their soul is feeling, and their soul is calling out to yours, even if their words have not yet reached you. Stay with me. Something deeper is unfolding in your love story. They are beginning to feel your absence, not just emotionally, but spiritually, like a disconnect that they cannot repair by replacing you with anything or anyone else. And that is because what you shared was not something surface level. It was something rooted in truth, something that carried purpose, something that was meant to awaken both of you. And now that you are not there in the same way, that awakening is becoming impossible for them to ignore, because every path they take somehow leads them back to the thought of you, to the memory of you, to the feeling of you, and they are starting to understand that this connection was never meant to be temporary. It was meant to teach, to transform, and ultimately to return in a way that is stronger, clearer, and more aligned. Do not leave yet, your soulmate's truth is being revealed. There are moments now when they feel an urge so strong to reach out to you that it almost overwhelms them, moments when they type your name, when they open conversations, when they think about what they would say if they could just speak to you again. But then doubt steps in, fear steps in, uncertainty steps in, and they hesitate, not because they do not care, but because they care deeply and do not know how to face what they feel. Do not know if they deserve another chance. Do not know if you would even want to hear from them after everything that has happened. And so they sit in that space, caught between longing and hesitation, between desire and fear, and that tension is what is breaking them, because they can no longer ignore their feelings, but they are still learning how to act on them. Stay with me, because everything about this connection will soon make sense. God is working within them, guiding their thoughts, softening their heart, bringing them face to face with the truth of what they feel. And even though it may seem like nothing is happening on the outside, everything is shifting on the inside, because change always begins within before it becomes visible in the physical world. And your soulmate is going through that internal transformation right now. A process that is preparing them to move, to speak, to finally step out of the silence they have been hiding in. You may have felt moments of doubt, moments where you questioned whether this connection was real, whether it meant as much to them as it did to you, whether you were the only one holding on. But God is saying to you now, you were never alone in this. You were never the only one feeling this deeply, because your soulmate has been carrying these emotions too. Even if they did not show it, even if they tried to hide it, Even if they convinced themselves they could move on, their soul never agreed with that decision, and now that truth is becoming impossible for them to deny. Do not scroll. There is something important you need to hear right now. The breaking that is happening inside them is not just about missing you. It is about realizing that they cannot continue their life in the same way without acknowledging what they feel, because ignoring it has only made it stronger. Running from it has only made it follow them more closely. And now they are reaching a point where they must choose to face their feelings or continue living in a space that feels incomplete. And that choice is becoming clearer to them with each passing day. Stay with me. Your love story is not finished yet. There are signs being placed in their path, moments of clarity, sudden realizations, dreams, thoughts that come out of nowhere, all guiding them back toward you, all reminding them that this connection is not something they can walk away from permanently, because it is tied to something greater, something that was written before either of you fully understood it. And even though the journey has not been easy, even though there has been distance and silence and confusion, none of it has erased what is real between you. It has only revealed it more clearly. And you, even now, are being guided to stay open, not to chase, not to force, but to trust that what is meant for you cannot be lost, cannot be taken away permanently, cannot disappear without returning in a way that aligns with your growth, your healing, and your worth. Because this connection is not just about love, it is about purpose, it is about transformation, it is about becoming who you were meant to be through the lessons you have experienced together and apart. Do not leave yet. Something powerful is about to unfold. There is a shift coming, a moment when everything they have been holding inside reaches a point where it can no longer stay hidden, where the silence becomes too heavy, where the distance becomes too painful. And that is when action begins. That is when communication starts to form. That is when the connection that has been building beneath the surface begins to rise into the open. And you will start to see what God has been preparing all along. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 needed. And right now, your soulmate is in that exact place, feeling the weight of their emotions, feeling the reality of what they lost, and in that brokenness, they are being guided, they are being shaped, they are being brought back to the truth, because sometimes it is only when the heart breaks that it becomes open enough to receive what it once resisted. Stay with me, because your soulmate is closer than you think. They are beginning to understand that this connection is not something they can replace, not something they can forget, not something that will fade with time, because time has only made it clearer, stronger, more present in their life. And that understanding is pushing them toward you, step by step, thought by thought, feeling by feeling, until the moment comes when they can no longer hold back, when they can no longer stay silent, when they can no longer live without at least trying to reconnect with you. And when that moment comes, everything you have felt, everything you have questioned, everything you have hoped for will begin to make sense. Because what has been building in silence will finally have a voice. What has been hidden will finally be revealed. And what has been uncertain will begin to take shape in a way that is real, tangible, and undeniable. Stay with me, because the final shift is still ahead. And as this final shift begins to rise, there is something you must understand at the deepest level of your heart, because what is happening now is not random emotion. It is not temporary longing. It is a divine turning point, a moment where everything that was hidden is being brought into the light. And your soulmate is reaching a place where they can no longer carry the weight of your absence without doing something about it. Because the silence that once felt safe to them now feels unbearable. The distance that once felt necessary now feels like loss. And the version of themselves that once walked away is no longer the same person standing here now, because they have changed, they have awakened. They have been broken open in a way that forced them to feel everything they once avoided. And that transformation is what is leading them back toward you. Stay with me. Something deeper is unfolding in your love story. They are starting to accept the truth that they tried to deny for so long. That you were never just someone passing through their life. You were someone sent to change them. Someone sent to awaken love inside them that they did not know how to handle at the time. And now that they understand it, now that they feel it fully, it is impossible for them to ignore it, because real love does not fade when it is true. It waits, it transforms, it grows stronger through distance. And that is exactly what has happened here, even if it did not look like it on the surface. There are moments now where they feel your energy so strongly that it almost feels like you are right there with them, like your presence has not left at all. And that feeling confuses them at first, but deep down they know what it is. They know it is the connection. They know it is something that cannot be explained logically, and they are beginning to trust it, to follow it, to listen to what their heart has been trying to tell them all along. And that is bringing them closer to the moment where they finally reach out, where they finally break the silence that has been holding them back for so long. Do not leave yet. Your soulmate's truth is being revealed. You have carried your own emotions through this journey, the confusion, the longing, the moments of strength, and the moments of weakness. And God has seen all of it. Every tear, every silent prayer, every question you asked when you did not understand why things had to happen this way. And now you are being shown that there was purpose in all of it. Purpose in the separation, purpose in the silence, purpose in the pain. Because it was shaping both of you into versions of yourselves that are ready for something deeper, something real. Something that is not built on uncertainty but on truth. Stay with me, because everything about this connection will now come into alignment. Your soulmate is no longer running in the same direction they once were. They are turning, slowly but surely, back toward you. Guided by the realization that they cannot replace what you gave them. They cannot find what they felt with you anywhere else. And that truth is becoming stronger than their fear, stronger than their hesitation, stronger than the distance that once separated you, because truth always rises. No matter how long it is buried, there is a moment approaching, a moment where everything inside them reaches a point of release, where holding back is no longer an option, where silence becomes heavier than speaking, and that is when action happens. That is when the message comes. That is when the connection that has been building in the unseen begins to appear in the physical world. And you will feel it, you will recognize it, because it will carry the same energy that you have always known between you, the same depth, the same truth, the same undeniable connection that never truly left. Do not scroll, this is your confirmation moment. God is saying this connection was never meant to end. It was meant to evolve, to grow through distance, to strengthen through absence, and now it is moving into a new phase. A phase where both of you understand what this truly is, where both of you are no longer running from it, but stepping toward it with awareness, with intention, with clarity that was not there before. And yes, there will be emotions, there will be conversations, there will be things that need to be expressed, healed, and understood. But this time it will not come from confusion, it will come from truth, because both of you have been changed by this journey in ways that cannot be undone. Stay with me. Your love story is reaching its breakthrough. You are not being asked to chase. You are not being asked to force anything. You are being asked to trust that what is meant for you is already moving toward you, to trust that what God has aligned cannot be blocked by fear or delay, to trust that the connection you feel is real, and that it is being guided with purpose. Even when you cannot see every step of the path, your soulmate is feeling you now more than ever, not as a memory, not as something from the past, but as something present, something alive, something that is calling them forward, and they are responding to that call, even if it is slowly, even if it is quietly, even if it is not yet visible to you. It is happening, it is real, it is unfolding. Do not leave yet, something powerful is completing itself. There is peace coming into this connection. Not the kind of peace that comes from forgetting, but the kind of peace that comes from understanding, from knowing that what you share is not random, not temporary, not something that can be easily replaced or forgotten, but something that carries meaning, something that carries purpose, something that was written with intention. And that is why it has endured everything it has endured, because it was never meant to break permanently. It was meant to bend, to shift, to transform, and then to return in a way that is stronger than before. And now, as everything aligns, as everything begins to come together, as the silence prepares to break and the distance prepares to close, you are being given this message as confirmation. Confirmation that what you have felt is real. Confirmation that what you have hoped for is not in vain. Confirmation that your soulmate is moving toward you even now, guided by something greater than both of you, guided by the same force that brought you together in the first place. Hold on to that truth, hold on to that faith. Because what is coming is not something you need to chase. It is something that is already on its way, something that is already unfolding, something that is already written in a place where it cannot fail. And this is your confirmation, it is already on its way. Rest in faith, it is done.